we've pointed out many times before that I personally think that Tucker Carlson has been doing a great job with his show. I don't have to agree with him politically on much of anything. I just need to know that the podcast he's running is informative, it is honest, and it is going to get to the heart of a lot of these problems. So a couple of days ago, I believe on Friday or Saturday, it was a few days ago, he had on a gentleman by the name of Brigham Buhler. And
Buhler.
And Buhler is somebody who unfortunately lost his brother to opioid addiction. And this is a person who really gets into the true nature of UnitedHealth and why Luigi Mangione likely did what he did.
So how do you want to break this up? Because you told me it's like a little bit long.
I've broken these up into 2 segments.
Okay.
One is about 7 minutes. The other is about 2.5. I'm going to play the 2.5 segment first, because this gets to the heart of where somebody who is bringing it to Tucker's audience. Listen, over 600,000 people have already viewed this on YouTube, and Lord knows how many more are going to see it. But this is what Buhler had to say regarding the deception that exists within private insurance led by UnitedHealth, and what may, in their opinion, led to the decision that Luigi Mangione made, where he felt that he needed to fire a shot.
People don't understand this. Medicare and Medicaid after Obamacare has all been outsourced to the big insurance companies. So 60% of UnitedHealthcare's profits are coming from Medicare and Medicaid. And how do they negotiate the Medicare and Medicaid prices? They negotiate it by looking at the average wholesale price in America and saying, we want a discount. Well, that average wholesale price is a bullshit price because they set the market, but they didn't pay that price. Does that mean, is this making sense at all? So just follow the dollars. Okay, $100 a month. They didn't pay the 100, they paid 50. They tell the employer they paid the 100. At the end of the year, that employer is going to get hit with the cost going into the following year. All of those copays, deductibles, all that goes up. Then you, the patient, get hit. And so when they decide what drugs to put on a formulary, what drugs they're going to cover, it has nothing to do with the efficacy and what is best for the patient. It has everything to do with who gave them the biggest rebate. And they incentivize you to go to those drugs by lowering your copay and deductible on those drugs. So with opioids, they made it very easy to get an opioid because it was getting a rebate. But they made it very difficult to get a non-addictive product like a pain cream. And then eventually they just said, we won't cover pain creams at all. You're going to have.
So do you understand how fucked up that is? The whole purpose of, again, Big Pharma catches a lot of the flack, and they rightfully so deserve it. But this is private insurance working hand in glove with Big Pharma, basically saying, we are only going to subsidize the addictive product, what is going to get you hooked on narcotics and is going to completely destroy your life, because at the end of the day, it's all about money and power. And that's it.
But the same companies like United have bought every element of the process, right? Every step in the game, so that they are connected to the pharmaceutical industry financially.
Correct.
They own them. Like, it's all connected.
And so anybody out there who is not espousing a single payer system at this point, like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because there is no other way to remove
Although we have felt
shit.
that way for 5 years.
Well, yeah, but this is the only way you remove that shit. Single payer is the only way. There is no other way. And you know what? It works in every developed nation on the planet. And that's the truth.
To take an opioid. Then to go even deeper, that's just the prescription.
And this is what happened to your brother.
This is 100% what happened to my brother and what happened to millions and millions of Americans. And it's still happening to this day. And so I'll paint a picture for you. Imagine being a young kid with a spine issue and you're in pain. And this particular spine issue causes the sensation of burning and fire shooting into your hands, your feet, your extremities. And the worst of it all, a large percentage of these male patients with this spine issue experience burning and fire in their genitals. Fire and pain shooting into your genitals and extremities. In the insurance model with UnitedHealthcare, you're going to have to go to a primary care first. That's going to take 2 months to get in with that primary care. You're dealing with this pain and suffering the whole time. Now you get in with the primary care. They go, whoa, got 6 minutes with you. This is out of my wheelhouse. I'm going to refer you to a specialist. You go to a specialist. That's going to take months. Oftentimes you have to argue with the insurance, right? Deny, delay, depose. You're going to argue with that insurance company, begging them to allow you to go to a specialist. Your primary care may even have to get on the phone and get a prior auth and negotiate it for you. Now you finally get in with a specialist. Specialist says, I want to order an MRI. A lot of times the insurance companies will deny the MRI or delay it. So now you've got a battle for that. That's going to be another 3 or 4 months. The gist of it is the average spine patient takes 6 to 9 months before they ever really even get an answer. And then they've got to negotiate to get into the surgery. And now you finally get the day in the sun where you're finally feeling like you're going to get relief and you're going to get that surgery that you desperately needed. But the whole time they've been selling you opioids to keep your pain level down because that's the only option you have. So now you get your approval and you say, I found the best surgeon in the country. I want to go to this guy. That's not how it works. The insurance company tells you who you're allowed to go see.
Well, of course.
In a single payer system, this bullshit wouldn't exist. There is no marketplace like Obamacare. Nothing. The free market still exists. Whoever the best doctor is, if you want to wait to see the best doctor, then that's who you can see, because that's how it works. There are doctors that are exceptional at their job, and they have a backlog of months. The same thing would still exist, only you wouldn't go broke. It's a single payer system. It is government funded, not government run. Know the difference.
The truth is the people who know, they know the difference.
Of course. Of course. And that's why fear has always played a role. But if conversations like this continue to get out there, like I said, I believe in my heart of hearts that single payer is simply inevitable now, because you are never putting this back in the bag. There are too many of these stories out there that are going to continue to spread, and the only solution is single payer. And here, at the end, is where the most poignant message is delivered.
And they say, yeah, he's not in our network. You've got to go to this other doctor. And then that doctor botches the surgery. It wasn't the surgeon you wanted. You waited 9 months to get this thing done, and that surgeon messes up your surgery. That's what happened to this kid, Luigi. That can you imagine how he could have lost his mind and gone crazy?
Yes.
And what's unfortunate is that's what's happening to millions and millions of Americans every day.
Which is why I've been saying for many years that I think things are going to get more violent. And people are just getting desperate and they're losing their minds. Like, this is not, people living with chronic pain, that's violence towards them.
Yeah.
So, again, yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
We
wouldn't have issues with that. We have the resources in this country. We actually have some of the best healthcare in the world available
if you have the money.
Yes, for people who can afford it, for wealthy people. Like, what I'm saying is, like, the technology, the doctors, the stuff that's available in this country is some of the best in the world. That's true.
That's all they care about. That's it. Well, if we can't get money out of them, what the hell's the point?
Well, and also when you delay, then you're increasing all the different meds, and you're also holding on to the money for a longer period of time before you would have to disperse it to whatever, you would have to pay out. So that's one of the reasons they delay, just to hold on to everybody's money.
Now, the thing that they've mentioned and we've heard, but remember, we're never going to know for sure exactly what Luigi's motivation was. I think we have a pretty good idea of what it was about. I think it's a conglomerate of a lot of different things. But we've heard repeatedly that he was dealing with chronic back issues, that he was dealing with impotence issues as a result of the chronic back problem. And if that's true, and the guy basically just reached his breaking point, and it is entirely likely that he had UnitedHealth, and they denied, delayed, and deposed, and he just decided, okay, I really have nothing to lose.
Right. That's what happens.
Handsome guy in really good shape. But you know what? If you are in chronic pain all day, every day, you know, your outsides sure as shit don't look like your insides.
No, it's miserable.